I'm stuck! Are you serious? This game! Riot!
When you clicked on this video, you might have had the answer to that question in mind already. You're probably thinking something like bad game design or greed, and yeah, that's part of it. But there might be something else you never thought of. But first, let me take you back. When I was in the 7th grade, I had two close friends, Sam and Wei. And like most 12-year-olds, we love playing video games together. And since we're in the same class, we kind of play sometimes. You see, Sam was a Geometry Dash god. He was always playing during class, and he would always show me his phone and just show me how many levels he's beaten and his gameplay. And it was really amazing to watch as a kid. Wei was a bit different. He didn't play mobile games, but he and Sam played another game. And that game was League of Legends. Some of you might have heard of it before. I would often overhear them talk about League, and I personally wasn't really that interested. In fact, I had an older friend named Dan who tried to get me to play League, but when he showed me, it wasn't really something I would like. See, at the time I was more interested in games like Happy Wheels or Papa's Pizzeria or Your Sugar. You know, shout out the days of cool math games. Eventually though, Sam and Wei, they tricked me, tricked me. Eventually, Sam and Wei did convince me though to try League. Scam me. At first, it was confusing, and learning the game was a bit hard. There's a steep learning curve. But once I did figure things out, I was pretty much hooked. I remember how much fun I had and just queuing up with them and learning the game and trying different lanes except support, because you know support sucks. And just a rush of dopamine I would get. I mean, support doesn't suck, it's just more like you can't carry the game, so it's not as impactful. It is impactful, but as a kid you think it doesn't matter. Anyways, I digress. Eventually though, when we did win games, it was really fun, and even when we lost, it wasn't that bad because we were learning the game together and we were learning together, and I just had fun playing with them. I never forget too when I hit Master 7 on my favorite champion at the time, Master Yi. I know, don't flame me. But I felt unstoppable and like I was destined to go pro, like I was the next Faker. But there's one small detail I forgot to mention as well. You see, at the time I didn't have my own computer. My parents had a computer that they bought for me and my brothers to use for schoolwork. It was a laptop, and that laptop wasn't the greatest, if I'm being honest. It would actually overheat a lot. Quite a lot. And what we would do is we'd get a damp towel, like a damp hand towel, and we put it underneath the laptop to cool it down. And eventually that towel will dry out, and we'd have to switch out the towel. And that computer got actually so hot that it would burn our wooden table that we had, and it had burn marks. Anyways, that laptop was hot. But it ran League, and we played it and we pushed it to the limits, and we played on that laptop even to the point where the hinges actually snapped. And even after that, we tried to play, we taped it together, and it didn't really hold for long, and we actually played until the screen just didn't turn on anymore. But that laptop has to be the best laptop I've ever used in my entire life. Why? It wasn't because the laptop was great, but it was because of memories we made of the laptop. When my brothers saw me playing League, they got interested in it as well. But since we were only kids, we only had that one laptop to share. So we had to get a bit creative because we didn't want to take turns. So what we would do is we have one person control the mouse, another person control the keyboard. And while one person was moving the character, the other person would be using abilities and items. And we got really good at doing this. We would actually be able to make flash plays and carry games and win. Those moments though, despite the less than ideal setup, and things being far from ideal with a laggy, overheating laptop, were actually some of the most fun I ever had playing League. But the thing is that our parents only let us play games on Friday and the weekends. So I would rush through my homework and try to squeeze in every minute I could of gaming. My brothers and I would play for hours. And even our parents would tell us to take breaks, but after that we'd be right back on playing the game again. I was pretty hooked at the time. I would pretty much only play League. I would follow esports, follow Faker, and watch YouTubers like Magic Carpus Fly, Brofesco, and Tyler One. Some would say I was a little teensy tiny bit addicted, and you wouldn't be wrong for saying that. This actually got so bad that when I started ninth grade and I found other people at my school who played League with me, I would sneak downstairs during the middle of the night to get in some extra games while everyone else was sleeping. And eventually I did get caught, and I got in a lot of trouble for it, and I got banned from playing for a while. But eventually when the ban did lift, I'll be back playing League again. The more I played League, the less fun League seemed to get. I started playing less and less, but I could never really shake the game, and League would always pull me back, even when it wasn't fun anymore and it kind of felt more like a job. Let's actually rewind a bit. Back in grade 9, when I was deeply entrenched in my League addiction, I actually started playing another game, Halo. You see, for some weird reason, at my high school, all the computers in our computer lab had Halo Combat Evolved installed on them. I guess the IT guys really loved Halo. I mean, they have pretty good taste. But anyways, those computers all had Halo Combat Evolved installed. So during lunch, all students from different grades would come and play Halo on the computers. And we played Capture the Flag, Team Slayer, or sometimes even Rockets. That was really crazy. But those moments when we were playing together were some of the most fun I ever had during high school. Was it because Halo was a better game than other games out at the time? I don't really think so. I think it more has to do with the fact that I had those people around me. That sense of community, being in the same room as everyone, laughing, yelling, and just competing together. I think that's what's missing from League today, and from many other games. There's a lot of reasons why modern games don't hit the same. We have things like microtransactions everywhere. We have over-reliance on good graphics rather than gameplay. We have a lack of innovation from the studios, making sequel after sequel after sequel. And we have everything trying to be a MMORPG with a crypto economy. Plenty of YouTube videos have broken down these issues before. But one thing I don't really see talked about is that lack of community. And yes, I know. Not every game has to be an online game or a multiplayer game. And I love my single player games as well. But I think there's a reason why consoles like the Wii were the best selling of their generation, and why Wii Sports is a global hit and a classic even down till today. Even my parents, who didn't play video games, went out and bought a Wii. And the nights where we were bowling together as a family and competing together were some of the most fun I ever had, and were really important moments of my childhood. There's also a reason why many people in my generation today remember the golden days of Xbox Live, when things were a bit wild, chaotic, and messy, but also when a lot of people developed real, lasting relationships.
And I'ma keep going hard when I'm on that crapper, and I'm a rapper, but you can't be as good as me because I'm you a snapper. You play zombies for a living, that's what I hope to do. I hope my YouTube channel gets 100,000 views.
So no. It's not like games today have changed so much that something happened and they've suddenly become less fun. What I think is that developers don't really care about those communities anymore. In fact, many developers have completely stopped trying. Instead, they've outsourced that community development to places like Discord or Reddit, instead of putting in their own efforts. For me, what made gaming magical wasn't the game or the mechanics of the game, but it was the people I was playing with. Those friends, the classmates, my siblings. That's what made gaming special. And I think that's what's gone today. So is that it then? Are we cooked? Is there no recovery? Are we doomed just to settle for games that look good on the outside but empty on the inside? Fortunately, no. That isn't the case. During the pandemic, when the world basically hit pause and everything, something really interesting happened. You see, when we were all stuck at home with nothing really to do, disconnected from our friends and families and our routines, we all kind of turned back to gaming. Not because we were just bored or we had nothing else to do, but I think it's because we were searching. We were searching for connection, we were searching for laughter, and we were searching for community. And suddenly, we got it. We saw an explosion of games like Among Us and Fall Guys, games that didn't require you to get sweaty, but games that were more goofy, chaotic, and really fun. Games that made everyone join in and play. You had your friends playing, your siblings playing, your favorite streamers playing. We were all laughing together, raging together, and most importantly, being connected together. We even saw the comeback of couch classics like Overcooked, Castle Crashers, and Mario Party. Games that brought people together not just on the same call, but in the same room. And you know what that showed us? It showed us that we still wanted that sense of community, that camaraderie, that chaotic joy of failing a level together or yelling when you finally beat everybody else. But Uncle Chuck, those are casual games. What about us real alpha gamers? You know what? That's fair. Let's talk about competitive games. I love them, and I still think there's hope for competitive games. But the issues they face are different from those that casual games face. You see, the issue with competitive games isn't that there isn't a community, but it's that the community they have is often pretty toxic. Games like League, Overwatch, or even Fortnite, they filled with players who gatekeep, who trash talk, and who kind of push out everyone who doesn't know the best meta, every strat, or read every patch note. And for a lot of people, that really sucks. Let me actually give you an example. You see, my wife, when she was just a teenager, tried to download and play Fortnite. She downloaded the game and got into a few matches, but very quickly she ran into several toxic players who bullied her and made fun of her and made her feel really bad for not being as good at the game. And that was it. After that, she never touched Fortnite again. Even till this day, when I asked her to play with me or join in, she refuses. And I know she's not alone in feeling this way. How many other players have been pushed out of different competitive games just because they weren't as good? What we need isn't just a community, but we need a community that supports one another, that encourages growth, and that tells us it's okay to be new. It's okay to suck, and when you do suck, we'll lift you up and we'll play together and help you get better. And yeah, I know it sounds like I'm just complaining and ranting, but I promise you I'm not. What I really want is good games. I love playing games, and I love the gaming culture, and I love getting hyped about new releases, and I love the chaos and strategy and laughter that comes from gaming. But I'm kind of tired of pretending that there's nothing wrong with gaming, when there clearly is. I want gaming to get better. I want the gaming community to do better. Because I'm still waiting for 2K 2049, when LeBron is still playing and he's playing with his grandson LaFetus James with a 99 overall and unbeatable. So, will fixing the gaming community fix everything wrong with gaming? Probably not. Was it a step in the right direction? Absolutely. You see, when gamers stop turning against each other and instead band together, we can finally put pressure on the big studios. We can tell them that we want less microtransactions, more free-to-play content. We can demand better quality games, not just quantity of games. And for those new games, we can demand new franchises, not just a sequel of 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 a sequel. Anyways, but none of that will happen if we're still flaming each other and pulling each other down and dunking on noobs for just trying their best. So yeah, maybe games feel less fun today, but maybe, just maybe, it's not just the games that have changed, but we have too. So if we can bring that sense of community back, the one that we had when we played on our broken school laptops, the one that we had when we packed around the Wii with our families, and that the one that we had when we played Halo during our lunch breaks, if we can bring that back, then maybe games can be fun again. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Do you still think there's hope for gaming? If you don't, let me know in the comments. If you do agree, let me know. And thanks for watching, and like and subscribe. Peace out, and stay good for your unk.